Welcome to episode 9 of the Game Caddie tutorials. I'm Scott Moeller, and this video is part 2 of our look at hitting from the trees. Last time we covered taking an aggressive shot and playing safe when under a tree. The exact same methods are used when stymied, although there is a greater chance of a less desirable outcome when you are 2 or more squares into the trees. You are also limited to the maximum club of a 7-iron when stymied versus a 5-iron when under a tree, per Master Game rules. In this video, we're going to look at how to handle lost balls, unplayable lies, and clear shots from the trees using the Game Caddie. Now, we're on the Lies tab, and let's suppose our first dice roll for a stymied lie results in a lost ball. The typical way you would handle a lost ball or a shot that goes out of bounds is to count the stroke, add a penalty stroke, and re-hit from where the shot originated. Let's take a look at an example of how to do that. Okay, so we're going to go over here to the Caddie tab for Harris English, our same golfer, and we're on Yacht Club, hole 3, and this time, instead of being at 245 left 30, which is what we had in the last video when he was under a tree, all we've done is move him 5 yards farther to the left. So he's at 35 left now, and that gives him a stymied lie. And we've put the abbreviation for a stymied lie from over here into the lie column of these Caddie notes that are here. Okay, so what we need to do is to assign the penalty stroke and get him to re-hit what was a tee shot. Well, this is a pretty simple operation. All we have to do is come up here to the Place Ball at Location tool, and in this case, all we have to do is click on the Place Ball button, because what that's going to do is put him back at the tee. In other words, it's going to be a distance of 0, left, right, 0, 0. Okay? Now, if we were in a different location than on the tee, all we'd need to do is come back and look at what his last shot location was from the Caddie notes and put those values into these boxes here. So I'm going to click on the Place Ball tool, and I'm going to be prompted here for what his lie is. And we could put fairway, or we can type in tee, it doesn't matter. And then click on OK, and you'll see that down here in the notes it registers that stroke, and we're going to say that it was a penalty stroke, and that's a reminder for us. And the reason that we do that, now this is a comment, and if you don't do it, it won't throw anything off, but what it does, it helps us when we come over here and we're done with the hole. On the scorecard tab, when those notes get pulled over, it'll show up here as a penalty stroke, and then when we record it, we have the ability to check down here to fill in the boxes that need to be filled in. So we'll come back to the Caddie tab here, and all we would need to do now is to take the next shot, and we would do that in absolutely the same way that we took the original tee shot. Okay, and once that's done and you click on the update button, then you're going to have him sitting at 3 strokes with his ball somewhere on the course. Okay, let's go back, and we're going to erase that example, and we need to manually erase what's over here in the comment section. So now we're back to our original location at 245 left 35. Come back to the Lies tab, and instead of a lost ball, what we're going to look at now is, let's say he has an unplayable lie. And that's handled differently. So instead of re-hitting from the original ball location, what we do is we drop within one square, no closer to the hole, with a one-stroke penalty. Okay? So if we look at the APBA course board and we see where his ball is sitting at 245, left 35, one option we have available to us is to drop that ball at 245, left 30. That's no closer to the hole, but what it does do is it changes our lie from stymied now to under a tree. So let's go back to the caddy tab. And this time what we're going to do up here in the place ball at location tool, we're going to type in 245, left 30, which is one square away from where the ball became unplayable. We'll click the place ball at location tool, and instead of putting a TS in there, we're going to put in a TU for under a tree. That registers the stroke down here. You can see it over here in this box. And again, we'll call that a penalty stroke. And now we can go ahead and hit the shot from that location. Come back to the lies tab. When we do that, there's another little part to this note that says after the ball is dropped, the ball is playable, cannot be lost, and may be played as safe or aggressive. And this is not necessarily something that's in the master game rules, but it's just a matter of common sense. No professional golfer is going to drop a ball where it's going to be lost, or it's going to have such a terrible lie that he can't do anything with it. So you do have the option when you're dropping a ball after an unplayable lie to either hit that ball safe or aggressive. You don't need to re-roll to determine that, but depending on whether you choose to play safe, you would then need to use the appropriate column to determine what the result of that shot is, the way that we demonstrated in the last video. I want to mention one other thing before we move on. According to USGA rules for unplayable lies, you also have the option of re-hitting from the spot of your previous stroke or going back as far as you'd like and drop on the line from the hole through the spot where the ball lies. In this example, that would be anywhere along the red line. Note that the yellow line is just an extension of the red line, which terminates at our pin location number 4. In either case, there is a one-stroke penalty which can be applied as previously demonstrated in this video. The final thing that we're going to talk about is what happens if you have a clear shot. And when you have a stymied lie, that could be a shot that would be looked at as being in the fairway column, or if you're under a tree, it could result in using the rough or fairway column, depending on your roll. Okay, so how do you handle that in the Game Caddie? Well, there's really not much for you to do. What it's essentially telling you is you don't have to fool around with the second roll. Just play this as if that ball is either in the rough or fairway, depending upon what your result was on your first roll, and that shot would just be played the way that you would normally play any shot. But keep in mind, maximum club restrictions still apply. So if you're stymied, you can hit under the fairway column, but you can't use more than a 7-iron. And if you're under a tree and you get a rough or fairway result, clear shot, you're limited to a maximum club of a 5-iron. All right. That's covers pretty much everything there is to know about using the trees charts over here. Until next time, grip it and rip it.